Hello. All right. Looks like I'm back, and there is another Smash Bros. Direct. It looks like it'll be about 2 more minutes before it starts, and here I am ready to react to it. Not gonna lie, I'm pretty nervous. Like, man, my heart is beating like crazy. But uh, everybody's saying, it might be Dante because of a Twitter post, about like someone who worked on that game, and they were saying, keep an eye out for this date, which is today. And I think Dante's a likely candidate, but honestly, I really have no idea. Dante would be cool. Not really who I want. I don't know who I want, but I don't know if Dante's one of those. I'd be pretty satisfied if it was Dante, but we'll see. We'll see. It could be Gino, could be Sora. Who knows? Who knows? But I'm pretty excited. I can't believe we're finally getting another Smash reveal, and I don't know if it's gonna start off with the whoosh, wing, we're gonna get it, or if it's gonna be Sakurai introducing himself before the trailer starts. I have no idea. I really have no idea. Right now I'm watching on Twitch. I don't know. It looks like 1 more minute. Man, this is crazy. Last character. I'm hoping there's a second character announced this direct, but we'll see, man. It's just crazy. Just really crazy. I wouldn't mind if the character came out this month.
Hello everyone, I'm Masahiro Sakurai, director of Super Smash Bros. Ultimate from Sora Limited. We'll be using today's showcase to give you a first look at our next DLC fighter. Actually, hardly anyone knows what we'll be announcing today, even among Nintendo staff worldwide.
Wow.
The development team and other stakeholders have been working on this fighter with the utmost secrecy. Which means other Nintendo staff around the globe will only start making preparations for release after the showcase has been broadcast. So it won't be available right away.
Yeah,
Please
that
understand
makes
that it will
sense.
take a little time.
No poster in the
I
background,
think
though.
even many Nintendo employees will be surprised to see this and say, wow, really?
What does that mean?
So, let's all share in the fun of getting our hands on the latest information. However, even if you say, that's not the character I was picturing, I hope you don't have any hard feelings. We've prepared a fighter reveal video. Once it starts, I think you'll figure out who it is pretty quickly. Now, let's do this.
This is it. I can't believe it. A year later, we're finally getting the last fighter. I have no idea. Fire Emblem? Goku? Oh my gosh, no way.
The time has finally come to unleash the forbidden spell of Zaharas upon our enemies!
Fire Emblem character and a different character, because they gotta know about that meme.
What were you thinking, charging right into an enemy's trap? As you and I are one, I too am trapped within this void. In time, our hearts and minds will cease to be.
This is so funny.
Are you prepared to die? I thought as much. I also do not wish to die. And yet, there is no other choice. You must join Smash.
Of course. It just makes so much
Join
sense.
Smash Brothers already! What in the world are you waiting for?
What is going on here? Okay.
So joining Smash consumes even the darkness itself!
Okay, that's a cool sword. Oh hey, cool, the like house people like their background characters. That's nice. I honestly did kind of want him as a fighter, I there's got to be another fighter though.
So you return, and sooner than expected. I see. Too many swordsmen, are there? And you wield the sword as well? What will you do?
That's funny. That's funny. They knew.
So that is how you plan to win the day? So be it. I reward your cleverness this time.
Another character? What's going on? The 3 houses? 3 weapons?
How is this?
No. They're different characters?
Of anyone, you should be able to handle the hero's relics.
It's not a costume. It's not even an Echo Fighter? Oh wait, no.
Use Amir's overwhelming power.
Alright, they got me. They got me. It looks like it is just a costume.
Speed of Failnaught.
Okay.
Along with the sword of the creator.
Or it is an Echo
Each
Fighter.
weapon matches a direction.
Yeah, actually, I don't think they would have did that splash screen if it wasn't at least an Echo Fighter, which, I mean, that's cool. That's cool. I hope it is an actual Echo Fighter.
Both sides of time are revealed.
That means more costumes,
Show the world.
like different color variants. Okay, okay. Why'd you pick this character, Sakurai?
Yes, there you have it. Byleth from Fire Emblem Three Houses is joining the battle. Fire Emblem Three Houses was released just last summer, so it's still very new. Even so, you'll soon be able to play as them in Super Smash Bros.
Now I gotta get Fire Emblem.
This release is planned for January 28th. You'll have instant access if you have the Super Smash Bros. Ultimate Fighters Pass, and it will also be available for purchase individually.
Not a bad date.
In case you're not familiar with Fire Emblem or Three Houses, I'll explain a few things, so don't worry. First off, what
Alright,
is Fire
next
Emblem?
30 minutes, guys.
It's really hard to pronounce in Japanese. The producer said it's okay if I just say Fire Emblem. But when writing it, if you don't write Fire Emblem, the Fire Emblem police will come and get you, so please be careful. The series' first entry launched in Japan on the Famicom in 1990. You could say it was a pioneer in the genre
Okay.
of tactical role-playing games. You might be wondering what makes it particularly tactical. Well, it's tactical in that it simulates combat. You can think of it as moving pieces in a board game.
At least
Or in other words, a game in which you advance units
confirm
across a
that
grid
the
in
more
battle.
DLC is a second Fighter's Pass, even though it's super obvious.
When we talk about tactical games of that era, there were lots of ones in which you command tanks, aircrafts, and so on. But Fire Emblem was unique because each unit was a specific character, sort of like in role-playing games.
This is really funny, and
Plus,
I can't wait to
something made it
see
stand out from other Nintendo
what people are
products.
saying about this.
Characters could permanently die.
Oh,
That's pretty direct language though, so perhaps we should just say they're sleeping with the fishes. But really, if a character fell in battle, you'd lose that unit. They'd be gone and you couldn't use them again. Recent entries in the series maintain
all
this
too
concept
well.
of permadeath to some degree in classic mode and what have you. But a lot of games now allow strategic withdrawals, so to speak. In the older
renders
games,
look
your
nice
units
in the
would really
background.
be gone, never to be mentioned again. Scary. The game's stories are told like chronicles of war, with increasingly distinct characters and engrossing scenarios.
like they even made the joke about swords. Like there's got to be
Several
another character.
characters also appear in the Super Smash Bros. Series, and 6 of the 7 can use a counterattack. It's their down special. There's actually a reason for this. When I was considering how to incorporate Fire Emblem fighters into Super Smash Bros. Melee, I thought it might be interesting to reflect the turn-based nature of the original game. First comes your opponent's turn. They attack and you counter. Next comes your turn.
The sword looks cool. It looks like a bone sword or something.
And now, Fire Emblem Three Houses is the
pretty cool.
17th game in the series. People who aren't Japanese in particular might be thinking, 17 games? There are that many? Well, if you include Fire Emblem Heroes in the remakes, but you don't include the Satellaview game, Tokyo Mirage Sessions Sharp FE, and Fire Emblem Warriors, then it comes out to 17 games. Let's try saying them in the Fire Emblem Can You Say It challenge. I'll give it a try.
Is this really happening? Wow. Oh, Arena and Guy. I like those characters.
There you go, 17. So you saw how I was counting in a weird way, right? I was counting in binary.
Wow.
This is 0. Fold this here and you get 1, and then you get 2, then 2 plus 1 equals 3. So this would be 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. And then you get 16. Add 1 and you get 17. Awesome, isn't it? You can actually count up to 31 on one hand. And if you use both hands, you can count all the way up to 1023. If you've given up counting the knots in a tatami mat, you could always give it a go. What is Fire Emblem Three Houses?
Bruh. Oh my
In
goodness.
Japanese, the male version of the main character is called Bereto, and the female version is called Beresu. But in English, they share the same name, Byleth. Byleth becomes a professor who ends up leading one of 3 academic houses.
I wish the vouchers were
Once you've
still
chosen a
available
house, you guide
for
them
the
through
US
school life,
eShop.
and, well, you end up fighting the other houses.
Maybe I would have got this game.
After a certain incident, 5 years pass, and you meet up with your grown-up students to battle against the other houses in their regions. It's a very sad game in which your former allies become enemies, turn hostile, and try to kill you. To understand the concept of Fire Emblem Three Houses, I played an early version of the game before its release. I've done the same thing before, with The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild, for example. Because I couldn't wait until launch to experience it, or we'd have never made it in time. For that title, I borrowed an early version of the game for 2 days, ran around all the areas, saw the ending, and realized for the first time, I guess we can't really have Breath of the Wild's Princess Zelda as a fighter.
That's interesting.
I did the same this time, but with there being 3 houses and multiple endings, it was really hard to get a feel for it. And of course, there weren't any walkthroughs I could reference. The game has multiple routes, and the outcome of each is very different. Your experience will vary depending on the route you choose, and many of the characters you meet will adopt different roles in the story. I'll try to avoid spoilers when I'm talking about the fighter. I hope you understand.
wonder if he'll spoil the next fighter. I hope.
Before my
Please.
demonstration, I should point out that when I did the Terry Bogard showcase video, I mentioned that it was recorded a month in advance. But this time, we have to account for the holidays and such, so we're filming 2 months in advance of this video's release. Right now, it's actually November. Therefore, some of what I'm about to show you might differ a bit from the finished version.
That's crazy. It's like, yeah, we've
As
been
always,
done with this
I'm
guy.
using a
We're already
special
working on
in-game
like
camera and such for
another guy.
demonstration purposes. Here I go.
Okay, that was scary. Thought we're getting some more
So,
information.
this is our new fighter, Byleth.
They look a little different with the way they're holding the sword. Or oh no,
Sadly,
maybe
they're
not.
lacking in mobility. It's maybe a bit better than Robin's, but that's about all you can say for them. Throws are not their strong point either. Their grab lacks range. But actually, you could say that they're distance demon.
Like the little daggers they have on their waist.
The hero's relic they use changes depending on the direction you input with the stick. Each of the hero's relics is a weapon
Wow.
that appears in Fire Emblem
This
Three
is-
Houses.
Kind of reminds me of
They
Monster
look
Hunter.
like bones, and there's a
that
reason
kind of
for that.
attack.
First, let's talk about the weapon Byleth uses for upward inputs. The sword
This
of
is
the
a
creator.
funny scene.
The sword of the creator here is Byleth's default weapon, They use it for flurry attacks and tilt attacks, such as down
That's
tilt
a cool
attacks,
sword.
where it takes the form of a whip. They also use the sword for dash attacks.
Kind of like that one weapon in Tokyo Ghoul. It was like
For their up smash attack, they'll whip the sword upward to launch enemies in the air. For their up air attack, they'll wave the whip sword overhead.
that's a pretty
The
interesting
hit
up air.
detection for this attack lasts for a relatively long time. The up special move is really something. The sword extends like this, allowing you to do things like this. It
Okay,
was
that's the
pretty
up B. So it's
terrifying
like
how I knocked
Joker's
him
up
into the
B.
air with that attack. And in addition, you can do awful things like this.
Wait, can you use it multiple times or only after like
That said,
only if
you'll
you like
launch
land
opponents
it?
upward until their damage reaches a certain percentage.
I like the
Exceed that
stage
percentage, and you'll
in
need to be
FD
careful.
form.
You may find it helpful to mid-air dodge. I've already shown this, but you can also use it to latch onto edges. So that's the up special. Now for the sideways inputs. This is Areadbhar, the same name as the weapon from Celtic mythology. First, we'll go through the
The
forward
weapon
and back air
designs, I
attacks.
really like the like
As you can
bony
see, they have a
look to
long
them.
reach.
Pretty cool.
Like so.
They look gnarly.
Marth's air attack keeps opponents in check too, right?
I like how they have similar
If Byleth does the
hairstyles.
same thing, you'd win out, so you should be able to beat it. Next, the side smash attack. This also has a long range. It'll connect even from here.
Okay, that was interesting. The stage.
Also, if you add an upward tilt, it will be stronger. And if you've knocked an opponent down, the side attack won't hit unless you add a downward tilt to aim for them.
Okay, that's cool. You can tilt it downwards. I figured, but it's good to know.
By the way, the tip of the lance is more powerful. The shaft part is weaker,
Okay,
so it's not suited to close combat.
this guy looks cool.
It won't deal much
Like
damage,
this Fire
and it
Emblem
won't launch
guy.
opponents far.
Bleh. Billy.
That's why, as a rule, you want to hit with the blade part aimed upward.
This feels
or
like it should
downward.
have not been DLC, like part of the original
Next, the side special move.
characters. Like release, on release.
Byleth will simply swing the lance like this, but again, it has excellent reach. For example, even when your opponent is at this distance, it'll still hit.
Yeah, I really like this
Actually, you
stage.
can
The
do a smash
background
attack
looks
to
really
charge forward
nice.
a little, like this. But as you'd expect, it can be easily shielded, so be careful.
Yeah,
Use
this
it in
guy,
midair and you'll carve up a large area.
that's a cool looking attack.
Returning to the side air attacks from earlier, they have great horizontal reach, but they lack verticality.
Yeah, this guy looks really fun.
So this complements it well.
I don't know if I'll play him that much
Although
in the
you'll be
long run
vulnerable
though.
when you land. Now, for the downward inputs.
Dang,
For
Dante
these, Byleth will
actually
use
would
an
have
axe
been
called
cool.
It's named after a weapon that appears in Ugaritic myth. First, the down air attack. It really is strong. You can try for a meteor effect with this attack. Next is the down smash attack. A heavy swing of the axe back and forth.
I think it's been around
As you can
15
see, it
minutes.
has a great
We've
deal
got
of
like
launch
20 more
power.
minutes left. We'll see what happens.
And for the down special, Byleth channels all their energy into a devastating strike. It's a bold move, similar to the Falcon Punch, but here's what makes it different. When readying the move, there's a super armor effect,
Oh, and it kind of sucks you in too. That's cool. Kind of neat.
which allows you to withstand an attack. Just so you know,
It's
if
like
you
a-
execute a Falcon Punch at about the same time, it plays out like this.
It's like a Falcon Punch,
It's a bit slower than
Ganon,
the Falcon Punch, but
up
due to the
tilt,
super armor
and-
effect, you have the advantage,
Ganon neutral B.
unless you get grabbed.
Oh, you can get grabbed. Okay, yeah, that makes
Another
sense.
notable aspect is that it lets you pass through platforms. While you're charging up, you can breeze past platforms like this to reach a lower area.
That's
It won't
really
let you
cool.
jump, but you could use it as a surprise attack.
It's kind of similar to King
Also,
K.
you can
Rool's
turn around
neutral
during the
B.
move. The swing
Okay,
takes a
alright.
while, so if an opponent runs behind you during the move, you can quickly change direction.
Alright. I think that was
Even though it
almost
can be hard to land a hit with this
necessary
move,
to make it a decent move.
It can be really effective when used against
Pretty
a
good,
group of
pretty good.
opponents. Plus, even if you fail to land a direct hit, any opponents on the ground nearby will still be launched a little.
8%?
It's as if the quaking of the ground launches them.
I mean, that'll be fun for free-for-alls, I see.
By the way, earlier I talked a little bit about the other Fire Emblem characters' moves. I don't recommend using this down special against fighters from the Fire Emblem series, because you'll just get loads of counters.
Bruh.
It hits with that much power in a single attack.
Hey, this guy doesn't have a
Counters
counter.
can actually multiply the power of blocked attacks, and using easily anticipated attacks like this could just get you hit by counter after counter.
I feel like that's a silly thing to point out,
Next,
though.
we have the neutral moves.
Wait, what is this
The bow you
stage?
use is called Failnaught, which shares its name with the bow from the Knights of the Round Table.
Is
It
there a
only
new
appears in a
boss?
few neutral moves.
Or is
You've
this
got the neutral air attack. This
like that
attack is
other
similar
Fire
to a
Emblem
move of
stage
hits
where
and
it
other
goes like
fighters like
through
you.
3
It lets you
different
spin the
things?
weapon around.
Ooh, that's a cool neutral. What the heck?
It's
Just
also
broke a
easy to
table.
create certain combos with it.
That,
And with the neutral
wow.
special, you'll let loose an arrow.
Probably,
seems pretty
I probably won't
straightforward,
play
right?
on this stage that often, but,
But
man,
there are
it
a
looks
few
cool.
noteworthy aspects to this bow. First, the biggest difference between this bow and Link's is that once you enter the command, you can keep charging until it's ready. You can't release it partway through the charge, so when it does fire, the arrow travels at high speed. It's also
So,
very powerful.
You're like forced to do
That
like the
said,
max.
you can still cancel out of the stance using the shield button.
Oh,
You can also change direction while in the stance. It works up until this point, but if you keep holding the button, you'll unleash a powerful arrow that looks like a beam of light.
wait, there's like no mana system for that or
You can perform
something?
this move
Like,
by keeping the button held down.
you just,
You charge up power like so, charge a bit more,
Wow.
and then fire. But again, you'll need to take care when using this move. For one, when you've powered up the move to its max, there's no way to cancel out of it.
also like
Not
once you
even with the
get
shield button.
into the yellow
In
part.
other words, you're committed to firing it. So you see, a situation like this is pretty terrible.
Oof.
Once you've entered the stance, you won't be able to do anything.
Looks fun though. Kind of reminds
Which
me of
means
Heroes
it's quite
like
the
side
risky
B.
attack to use against fighters who have a move with a reflector effect. But you could always just aim into the fray, as it is, after all, a long-range move, letting you deal a sudden blow to opponents.
Oh, so this stage is a walk
So
off. It
you need
looks
to
like.
think carefully when using this projectile weapon. Byleth's final smash is called Progenitor God Ruptured Heaven. In the original game, there's a move called Ruptured Heaven. This is an enhanced version.
All right, this stage is pretty cool. Decent final
As you can
smash.
see, you team up with the mysterious Sophis and launch an attack together.
I like the previous like stage that they just showed, like that area, like better. I like that one the most.
Now, let's talk about the color variations. It's set up so that the default and odd-numbered color variations are male, while the even-numbered ones are female.
Oh,
However,
so
the third, fourth, and fifth colors are, as you can see,
That's
reminiscent
perfect.
of the house leaders.
that's actually like
Those of
perfect.
you who played the original game will of course understand what I'm referring to.
They're
The
perfect.
sixth color is based on Sophis, who you just saw earlier.
These costumes are perfect.
And the seventh and eighth variations have a different hair color, which is based on something that occurs in the course of the original game's story. Didn't we see this variation in the final smash?
Just a guess, the main character merges with that like Soleus lady. I bet you that's what it is.
Next, I'll introduce the stage. For this one, we of course tried to recreate the place where you spend most of the game, Garreg-Mach Monastery. This is how Garreg-Mach Monastery is laid out in the original game. From these, we chose to have
There's
it cycle
3
through the
floors.
marketplace, reception hall, bridge, and cathedral, all in one stage.
Hey, yeah, actually there was like 4 areas. Yeah.
It's the type of stage that rotates through different areas, such as these 4.
I want to see what that looks
Let
like.
me introduce each of the guests that appear in these 4 areas.
Okay.
The first area is the marketplace. I think this is where a lot of people come to do their shopping. The guests that appear here are students of the Blue Lion's house, Dimitri, Dedu, and Ingrid. Not Dimitri, Dudu, or Ingrid. Their names are a bit difficult to say.
What?
They're largely from the Holy Kingdom of Fargus. Since it's a kingdom, that means they have a monarchy. For that
Dudu
reason,
and
I guess you could say
Fargus.
Dimitri's the future
All
king.
right.
He had quite a difficult life and may or may not end up with just one eye. He's an unfortunate one, that one.
Yeah, I've seen a picture
There
of
are
him with
vendors
one
on
eye.
either side. In the original game, these are important booths where you buy all sorts of things.
Oh,
Here you can break them, you see.
that looks satisfying to break those.
If you do break them, the stage will expand to the left and right.
It's a walk-off.
I wonder where people will buy their supplies now.
Bruh.
And
Nice
in the
one,
background,
Sakurai.
you can see the gatekeeper. You often pass through this area in Fire Emblem 3 houses, and you end up talking to him a lot. Moving through these areas is possible thanks to this mysterious platform. Just when it seems like you've come to a stop, you'll come crashing back down. You're broken through the ceiling
was
and
kinda
slammed
neat.
into the building. And the guests in the reception hall are Edelgard, Dorothea, and Petra of the Black Eagles. Take note, it's not
Wow.
spelled Edelgard. They're from the Adressian Empire. And as such, they embrace their military might. Edelgard is one of the characters who is central to the conflict. Depending on the path you take, she'll go through some terrible ordeals. You'll
She
notice
looks so
there are prominent
serious.
chandeliers above the stage. It's possible to knock them down.
Yeah, I figured that much.
However, Byleth can't actually reach it, even though it's their stage. You can reach it with other fighters, though.
That's a bro moment.
So, it's nice if you can work your way up there by getting lucky and being launched up, or perhaps by using another fighter as a stepping stone. There we go, I made it. And you can knock it down.
Yeah, no, that's... I don't know about
Also,
that
you
one.
can break this table. Like so.
Wow.
Just like the sign that
can
reads
break
Foodie
the
Cousin in the
table.
Suzaku Castle stage. It can break if you launch the opponent into it at close range. Next up, the bridge. The camera rotates 90 degrees, creating this
Oof.
long area.
That's like
It's
a...
very wide
That's
indeed.
crazy, dude. With that transition.
It's similar to the Bridge of Elden stage. The guests are from the Golden Deer, Claude, Hilda, and Lawrence.
Yeah, this guy
They belong to
is
the
like
Leicester Alliance.
the least memorable. I remember him, but like the blue guy and red girl, like are
Because it's an alliance
more
of many
prominent
noble families,
to
you
me.
could say that they have a wide assortment of members. And Claude is the sharpest of the bunch. Incidentally, both Claude and Hilda are the names of characters that appear in Genealogy of the Holy War, the 4th title in the Fire Emblem series. I guess once you've reached the 17th game and are creating 40 characters for each new entry, you're bound to get a bit of name overlap.
and they're so
naming
energetic.
process
Like,
must
look
be
at them,
tough.
their animations.
Hey, it looks like the Pegasus Knight is busy training.
Like, I actually want to play this
As for
game
the
now.
bridge's design,
like right
it's
now.
just a long pathway, plain and simple. You can expect plenty of blows to be exchanged at the edges of the screen.
Yeah.
You could also say it's a place where the Failnaught really shines, and in this sense, I think it suits the Golden Deer perfectly.
I think this is the final section.
The last area is the Cathedral, only with some platforms you can pass through. The guests appearing in the
Wow.
Cathedral are Sedith, Flayn, and Rhea. There's Sedith, who appears to have an extremely strong bond with his sister, Flayn. She seems to be under the protection of him and Rhea, who you can see fighting during the opening of Fire Emblem 3 Houses. All three have character quirks related to their true identities.
True identity?
I feel that Flayn might be saying shush at this point, so I'll leave it at that.
What does that mean? I mean, that
This
girl
is
looks a
simple
little
area of
evil.
stage.
a little,
All it
little-
has are these platforms.
I don't know.
Being the last area, it may be a place where some intense battles will be waged. It'll cycle through each location in about 2.5 minutes.
Don't play classic
Okay,
mode.
today we'll have a tag team battle in Squad Strike with the DLC team pitted against Fire Emblem protagonists from throughout the ages. That'll give us precisely 5 players per side.
Yeah,
Alright,
this is
here
gonna
we
be
go,
the rest
Joker.
of the direct. Wow.
Joker! And Hero! Gee, we really made a lot, huh? Banjo! By now, I think you know what I'm doing. But basically, I'm trying to defeat all 5 opponents with just the Professor gear. But
You
as
say
expected,
Professor?
it's going to be a pretty tough battle, so I'm using anything I can get my hands on.
Dang, this is gonna take
It's
a
not going to
while.
land that easily.
Please tease
this
another
is
character
bad.
at the end, dude. At least mention like
Renegades.
anything, like even if not the character, like at least bring up
I
you
better
know,
keep my distance.
future DLC, please. I could be like, all
I'll
right,
use this chance to
see you
attack.
guys. Like,
Got it.
there's got to be something,
That's
anything,
scary.
dude.
He's
Please.
invincible for a moment here. Lots of explosives. Ouch. He perfect shielded that, huh? Good one. If I do this, or like so. No anti-air, huh? There, the soccer ball connected.
2 months in advance, huh? So, like
Good, there's Mom.
November.
You're in a good spot, Mom. Ah, I shouldn't have taken that.
I bet you already recorded the
Gardevoir.
video for like the next
Well,
DLC.
I guess no one uses projectiles.
Pretty crazy
At
to
this
think
point,
about.
it doesn't matter if Gardevoir's there or not. I feel like the enemy might get this Smash Ball. See? They got it.
I think there's more Fire Emblem characters in Pokemon
But I
now.
mustn't give up.
I don't know. Actually, Pokemon
I
Trainer
can't
probably
waste the chance.
like is the reason Pokemon is winning.
There's
in
another
that.
Smash Ball. Yes, got it. Now, what are you charging up for?
Dang, Sakura actually did this pretty fast.
There's still more.
Hmm.
Whack.
If you just announce another Fire Emblem
Go on,
character,
you can
does
take
that
the hammer.
mean
But it's mine.
another Pokemon is gonna be announced?
Although I'm scared I might get hit with a counter in this state.
The Sword and Shield. I don't know.
I was trying to fight using Byleth's abilities alone, but what matters is that I won. Good game.
Good job, Sakurai.
It can be fun to play like this,
What level were
especially in
those
tag
computers?
teams, so I think it's a good idea to try imposing different types of challenges on yourself. The end.
Oh, I thought he said the end and it was just over.
Now, about the additional music.
Oh
Since
my
it's from the Fire
gosh.
Emblem series, we'll be adding each of the new tracks to all the Fire Emblem stages.
The direct is almost over.
There are already a lot of Fire
man.
Emblem tracks in the game. Our selection this time has been made taking those existing tracks into consideration. 11 songs are being added. This includes an arrangement of the main theme in both Japanese and English.
I am happy
I
that
hope you'll enjoy these
just
as well.
in general there's a new fighter to add to the list.
We're also adding
Pretty,
in a
I
new
mean that's
spirit
pretty
world.
cool. It's just
It
crazy that
includes the house leaders
Fire
among some of
Emblem.
the other
I mean that's
popular
pretty
characters.
like that's like a Nintendo IP, right? I mean that'd be like an out
So
there
this is Legend class.
fighter.
Also, there's a new classic mode route, a heroic legacy,
Don't play
which
it.
is designed
Don't
to
play
let
it.
you enjoy classic
No.
Fire Emblem stages from throughout the series' history. The final battle is against Master Hand and Crazy Hand, but you'll find that something pretty amusing happens, so look forward to that.
Okay, that's cool. I get to find out myself.
Now for the Mii Fighter costumes. Please take a look.
Didn't think about that. Sans! Oh my gosh! No. Please no Gino. Please no Gino. Whoa, pretty cinematic. Assassin's Creed? Wait, is this Assassin's Creed or am I hallucinating? Rabbids. This is kind of interesting. No Fire Emblem costumes. They're like... Oh, we're gonna get the Doom and Geno costume. I bet you. I bet you. But not like Geno costume, it's like from the game. Like the leak. Are those old Mega Man costumes from Smash 4? That costume looks great! And he had his finger like that. What does that mean? Oh, okay, it's just a gunner. You gotta have the blue one. Wow. Some crazy Mii costumes this time. There's gotta be a Shantae music, costume coming out soon. Cuphead music? Okay, not as hype as Sans, but that's pretty cool. Some pretty good costumes.
This time we're releasing a Cuphead costume.
Let me guess, you played Smash with the
And for
creator
those
of
of you who
Cuphead.
purchased the Cuphead costume, an additional song will be added. It's called Floral Fury, and it's the theme that plays when fighting Cagney Carnation.
Dang, Sans
I
and
hope
this
you enjoy
one,
these as
they're
well.
both gunners. It's kind of interesting.
After purchasing a costume, I recommend using the sharing feature. If someone has created a Mii fighter, you can play using the costume it's wearing immediately after you download it.
Want to see some memes, I guess?
And now, onto the amiibo.
Oh, I thought he was going to say now onto the next fighter.
The color palette for Dark Samus looks pretty good, doesn't it?
Yeah,
Dark
they look
Samus
alright.
and Richter are planned for release on Friday, January 17th.
The Echo Fighters. Oh, that's tomorrow.
And now, with the addition of Violet, the Fighter's Pass is finally complete. The lineup was Joker, Hero, Banjo and Kazooie, Terry Bogard, and Violet.
Looks beautiful. That last one's a little interesting, but
From more than
beautiful.
70 fighters, only 5 have been added. But I must say, this game has always been an exceptional experience. And since the roster was already so large to begin with, right from the start, we intended to make the most out of the new gameplay mechanics and so on. There really were a lot of new mechanics, weren't there? When we add a new fighter, we don't simply make their attacks or their movements a little different.
this is hitting right in the
Instead, we
feels.
try to offer you a whole new style of play.
Like, shows that he really cares about the game.
As I stated, we'll continue to release more DLC fighters down the line. I had thought that 1 or 2 might suffice, but, well, have a look.
What's another fighter's pass, right? No, not again.
Looks like there will be one more fighter than last time. For this reason, we will be releasing the Super Smash Bros. Ultimate Fighters Pass Volume 2. It will be available for pre-purchase on the date shown, so please keep an eye out. And now that it's official, we intend to move ahead with development.
We're not getting
Of
a new
course,
fighter.
like last time, the contents will remain unknown for now, and I'm personally very sorry that we have to release Fighters Pass Volume 2 when the details have yet to be revealed. Like last time, I'd be very grateful if, despite that,
Alright.
you would understand why and purchase it.
I'm at least happy.
Furthermore, the new additions have already been decided. Even if I receive many requests regarding potential candidates on Twitter, I'm afraid it would be very hard to consider them.
Already decided again. Okay.
But I still hope you'll look forward to it.
6. That's a pretty hype
We're
announcement.
also including a bonus with Fighters Pass Volume 2.
Is it like a
Last time,
Piranha Plant
it was
thing?
a Rex costume.
Oh.
But this time, here's what we have.
An Echo Fighter. Oh. It's just another
It's a
Mii
Mii Fighter
costume.
costume for Mii Sword Fighter, the ancient soldier gear from The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild. This will not be for sale individually, so it can only be acquired as part of Fighters Pass Volume 2.
We're not getting a new fighter. We're not.
It's been reported that Super Smash Bros. Ultimate is the highest-selling fighting game in the world.
6 new fighters.
Personally, I don't know if it counts as simply a fighting game, but I guess it's seen as a fighting game around the world. Seems like Street Fighter 2 was in the lead for a while, but now Super Smash Bros. Ultimate has surpassed it in total sales.
6 new
However,
fighters.
I'm not sure if this is accurate. There were 5 versions of Street Fighter 2, or 6 to 7 if we really want to get into the weeds. Plus, there's the arcade versions and the 25 ports to other systems, so I don't know if that's been accounted for. Also, I don't know if that really qualifies as one game. It's up for discussion. So, who knows? But when it comes to a single piece of software, it seems like Super Smash Bros. Ultimate is number 1. Although, I still don't know if it can really be called just a fighting game. I feel like it's become more than a fighting game, some sort of celebration of gaming or something else entirely.
Sure, yeah. Yeah.
Also, I feel a deep attachment to the 5 DLC fighters.
Now there's 6 more. Oh my gosh.
The
Wow.
first Fighters Pass just wrapped up, but it was decided that there will be more DLC, which means no breaks for me. I plan to keep working hard, so I hope you can continue to support
Another
us.
year of Smash DLC.
That's it. Thank you.
I guess in a way the extra fighter kind of... Oh, the 3 for 3 houses. Oh, that's okay. All right. So I guess in a way the extra 6 fighter in the next Fighters Pass is kind of like, at least for me, kind of makes up for this Fire Emblem character, which isn't even that bad to be honest for me. But it's, yeah, I mean 6, wow. Yeah, like that for sure like confirms like this 2020, like, where the last fighter like probably won't even be out by the end of the year. Well, like, you know, we'll see what happens. But it's just crazy. The DLC, like okay, let's include Piranha Plant. That's 12 DLC fighters, like in total, like so far. 12. That's crazy. Like, I remember the Kennen and Cinnamoroar announcement. It was, you know, and then they also announced Piranha Plant. I was kind of slightly disappointed because the Grinch leak kind of had my expectations too high. But then the announcement of 5 DLC fighters kind of made up for that. But the problem is we didn't know who they were, you know. And I remember being like so kind of like man, like we have to wait an entire year to just know like who those 5 are gonna be. And now we've made it. I know the 5, and I'm pretty satisfied. But man, just I couldn't have imagined on that day that there would be, you know, actual like this many DLC fighters. It's crazy. I did want a teaser for the next fighter, but I am pretty happy. I think like the announcement of 6 new fighters, like not just 5 but 6, like makes up for that, you know. And I'm pretty happy. Yeah, I can't wait to play as these guys. I don't think long term I'm gonna be playing as this character that often. I've been playing Terry a lot. I don't know if I'll be playing this character a lot, but I can't wait to try him out, and I can't wait to see what the next Fighters Pass is gonna be. So yeah, thank you guys for watching. I can't wait to watch how everybody reacted to this Fire Emblem character though. It's gonna be so funny. But yeah, I guess I'll see you guys next time. Peace out.